Right now, there are over 3,400 Caribbean restaurants operating across the United States. And out of every Caribbean cuisine on that map, Jamaican food is number one. But here's the thing most people don't realize: a huge percentage of the American men who walk into one of those restaurants for the first time have absolutely no idea what they're walking into. I'm not talking about the food. Well, I am talking about the food. But I'm also talking about the wait. The drinks. The prices. The music. The portions. The way the person behind the counter talks to you like they've known you for years. I'm breaking down 9 things American men notice first when they step into a Jamaican restaurant, counting down to the one reaction that genuinely changes how they think about food. Stay till number 1. It's the one nobody sees coming. Number 9, the smell. Let's start before you even sit down. Because when you walk through the door of a Jamaican restaurant, you stop. Not because something's wrong. Because something smells like it took all day to make. Allspice, which Jamaica gave to the world, by the way, carries the notes of cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg all at once. Mix that with Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh thyme, garlic, and the low smoke of pimento wood if someone's running a proper jerk setup out back, and you're getting hit by something your nose doesn't have a category for. American fast food trained us to expect the smell of fry oil and synthetic seasoning. That's what restaurant smell means in the US to most people. A Jamaican restaurant smells like someone's been in the kitchen since early morning. Because they probably have been. That first inhale is the first signal: this is different. And different, in this case, is very, very good. Number 8, the menu. Then they look at the menu. And that's where American men start to look a little lost. Ackee. Escovitch fish. Bammy. Callaloo. Festival. Brown stew. Rundown. Manish water. These are not words they know. And for a second, there's that moment of panic, that thing that happens when you're in a restaurant and you can't find the thing you recognize, so you start mentally building a plan B. Here's what I want American men to understand: the panic is the best thing that can happen to you in that moment. Because it forces you to ask. And when you ask a Jamaican restaurant worker what you should order, they will tell you something real. Not the thing that moves the most margin. Not the dish that's been sitting under a heat lamp. The thing that came out best today. From Portland, Maine to Tucson, Arizona, restaurant owners say the same thing. Customers who let the staff guide them start with jerk chicken, then move to oxtail, then start ordering curry goat. Every time. The menu confusion is the beginning of the best food journey they've ever been on. So if you're lost, just ask. Say you've never been here before. That is exactly the right thing to say. Number 7, soon come. Alright. You've asked, you've ordered. Now you wait. And for American men, this is where things get complicated. You ask how long. The server, perfectly calm, perfectly unbothered, says, soon come. And if you're American, and you're used to the 30-minute delivery guarantee and the drive-through timer and the app that tells you your food is 2 minutes away, soon come is going to test you. Here's the context that nobody explains: soon come is not a lie. It's not a brush off. It is a genuinely Jamaican way of saying the food is coming when the food is ready. Because in a real Jamaican restaurant, everything is made from scratch. Fresh, that day, sometimes within the hour. The TripAdvisor forums on Jamaica are full of American visitors writing versions of the same sentence: I was annoyed waiting, and then the food came, and I completely forgot I was ever annoyed. One visitor put it plainly: I would rather spend an hour waiting for fresh, home-cooked food than 20 minutes for garbage from a corporate chain. And honestly, hard to argue. The US built an entire economic model around eliminating the wait. Jamaica built a food culture around honoring the process. Number 6, the portions. The food arrives. American men look at the plate. And then they look again. Because what they expected was something modest, something they'd need to round out with sides and maybe a second order. What they get is a plate that covers most of the table and still comes piled high with rice and peas, plantains, and cabbage on the side. Every independent review tracked from Jamaican restaurants across the U.S., whether it's Buffalo, New York, Tucson, Arizona, South Portland, Maine, or San Antonio, Texas, the phrase, generous portions, comes up more than any other. This isn't a coincidence. Jamaican food was built for working people. For the field, for the dock, for long physical days. The cultural DNA of feeding people generously is still sitting in every plate served today. Food is care. The portion size is how Jamaican restaurants say, we want you to leave satisfied, not strategically underfed so you order dessert. American fine dining has spent the last decade shrinking plates and charging more. Jamaican restaurants went the other direction. And American men notice. Number 5, Oxtail. Okay. This is the one. The dish that converts people. Oxtail. Say it to the average American man who hasn't had it before. Watch his face. There's a hesitation. The word tail is doing something to him. He wasn't prepared for this to be a real thing on a menu. And then someone talks him into trying it. Or he watches the plate go by to the table next to him and can't help himself. Oxtail in Jamaica is slow braised for hours, sometimes most of the day, in browning, butter beans, Scotch bonnet, garlic, allspice, and whatever the cook's family recipe says goes in next. By the time it reaches you, the meat doesn't need a knife. It falls off the bone. The sauce is rich and deep, almost like a Jamaican reduction of everything good that could happen in a pot. One restaurant owner in Maine described the progression like this: customers come in for the jerk chicken, the safe, familiar choice. They love it. They come back. And then they try the oxtail. And that's when they stop trying other things for a while. That's when oxtail becomes their permanent order. The global Caribbean restaurant market was worth $5.3 billion in 2024, and it's projected to hit nearly $10 billion by 2033. Oxtail is one of the primary dishes driving that repeat business. And it started with an American man who almost didn't try it. Number 4, the atmosphere. They ordered something they'd never heard of. The wait taught them patience. The plate arrived and changed their expectations. And the whole time this is happening, there's something else going on in the room. Reggae playing. Not faintly in the background like a low-volume playlist nobody asked for. Playing. Present. As a full participant in the experience. Colors on the wall, green, gold, black. Sometimes photographs of Kingston, of the Blue Mountains, of a beach none of the people in the room have been to yet but suddenly want to visit. And laughter. Not from customers performing a good time, from the people who work there, talking to each other between orders. A restaurant owner in New York described watching a group of American college guys, none of them from the Caribbean, completely absorbed in the experience. Drinking Red Stripes, moving to the music, not self-conscious at all. The Caribbean restaurant had done what it always does, it made the room feel like somewhere worth being. In America, atmosphere is increasingly something you hire a design consultant to manufacture. In a Jamaican restaurant, it's produced by the people in it. American men feel the difference even when they can't name what they're feeling. Number 3, the drinks. Server comes over. What can I get you to drink? American man opens his mouth to say Coke. Server says, we have sorrel, carrot juice, sea moss, ting, DNG sodas, rum punch, red stripe. Silence. Listen, this is not a criticism of American men. This is just what happens when a drink menu doesn't have the familiar corporate off-ramps. There's no Diet Pepsi here. And that's a good thing. Carrot juice in Jamaica isn't the sad, watery stuff you find in a fitness juice bar. It's blended with condensed milk, a hint of nutmeg, sometimes a splash of rum, sweet, rich, and filling enough to be a meal on its own. Sorrel is the deep red hibiscus drink that's been at every Jamaican Christmas table for generations, spiced, cold, and nothing like standard iced tea. Sea moss drinks are having their viral moment right now, and for good reason. Ting, a crisp grapefruit soda, is a Jamaican institution that tastes like a secret the island kept from the rest of the world. Global beverage trends are showing massive year-over-year growth on the health, natural, and organic side. This isn't a new fad. It's just the world catching up to what Jamaicans already knew. And American men who order the rum punch. They stop asking for soda after that. Number 2, the hospitality. Here's where I want you to really pay attention. Because in most American restaurants, you know exactly what to expect from the person serving you. They come over. They tell you the specials. They ask if you want an appetizer. They disappear. They come back. They ask how everything is tasting. They bring the check. It's a completely transactional relationship. Walk into a Jamaican restaurant and something entirely different happens. The person serving you might ask where you're from before you've even looked at the menu. They'll tell you honestly that the curry goat is running a little later today because it needed more time in the pot, and that the jerk chicken came out especially well this morning. They'll check whether you've eaten here before, and if you haven't, they'll make sure you leave having tried something you wouldn't have ordered on your own. Jamaican restaurant owners across the US are very deliberate about this. One owner shared it plainly: as soon as we go into these cities, it's best to educate the people around you about who you are. The restaurant is not just a food business. It's a cultural outreach operation. American men who've been through a decade of corporate dining, where everything is scripted, where the warmth is trained, where the server is performing a corporate role, feel this the moment they walk through the door. It's hospitality that isn't trying to aggressively upsell you. It's hospitality that's just trying to make sure you leave happy. They don't know what to do with it at first. By the end of the meal, they're already planning when they're coming back. Number 1, the price. The meal is over. The server brings the check. And American men look at it, and look back at what they just ate, and look at it again. Because the math doesn't match what they expected. A massive full combo plate at a Jamaican restaurant in the US, jerk chicken, rice and peas, sweet plantains, and sides, frequently runs somewhere between $15 and $22. Even in major metropolitan cities, a massive plate of braised oxtail with all the fixings hits completely reasonable numbers for a dish that literally took most of the day to slow cook. Think about what an American man pays at a mid-range corporate American restaurant for a meal half as interesting, completely frozen beforehand, and a quarter as filling. The perception going in for some was that Caribbean food is just cheap, casual street food, not the kind of place you go to for a true culinary experience. The perception coming out is that they just got the best value, and the most authentic meal, they've had in months. That perception gap is the whole story. 170 million Jamaican patties are sold in the United States in a single year. The Caribbean restaurant market is at $5.3 billion and growing at over 7% annually. This isn't a niche. It's not a hidden gem. It's one of the fastest growing culinary movements in the country, and American men are figuring out why, one oxtail plate at a time. And by the way, if you want to understand why food this good is historically priced relative to the massive effort it takes to make, I actually covered the economics of Jamaica's food culture in a previous video that's worth watching after this one. The link is up top. 9 things. The smell at the door. The menu that challenges you. The soon come that teaches you patience. The portions that embarrass American restaurants. The oxtail that converts skeptics. The atmosphere that makes you feel something. The drinks that replace everything you thought you wanted. The hospitality that reminds you what dining is actually supposed to feel like. And the bill that makes you question every overpriced, uninspired meal you've ever paid for. Here's my question for you: if you've been to a Jamaican restaurant, what was the moment that hit different for you? The thing you didn't expect, the dish you're still thinking about. Tell me in the comments. And if you haven't been yet, after all of that, I genuinely want to know what's stopping you. Enjoyed the video? Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss upcoming content. New videos are posted regularly, and there's plenty more to come.